Today I'm going to reveal how I exactly enter on pullback entries. Pullbacks are my favorite. They allow you to enter before the market's even started its real push, and they're very accurate entries, and when we get the chance to enter on pullbacks, they allow us to take juicy moves. So pullback entries is a part of my strategy, and I do want to show you guys and use a trade from this week as a case study, and just basically run a little trade recap of my trades this week, and also at the same time show you exactly how I trade pullback entries with over a 70% win rate on these and when I pick them out. So with that being said, let's get into this video and hope you guys enjoy. All right, so when it comes to trading on pullbacks, there are obviously different ways to enter off the market. We can enter off of continuation, which means we're looking for price to continue either up or down. We can enter off of pullbacks from that continuation. That's an entry. We can enter off reaction points. Say market had a reaction, those are the typical ways you can enter in the market. Now, pullback entries are some of the most accurate entries because you're literally entering at a discount. So I love when we enter at a discount because it offers a nice opportunity to maximize the move. Now, pullback entries don't necessarily mean that price has to pull back and then continue. The pullback can be happening on what? HTF, which is higher time frame. So higher time frame is where the pullbacks comes from. So that means if session bias is bullish, where are you on a bullish picture? So let's say session bias is bullish, means that we expect price to go up. Are we at higher time frame resistance? Are we at a bottom of a range looking to reach the highs? Where are we? So we could easily go on to, let's say now on this pair here on gold, we can go into a 4-hour time frame and we can go figure that out, right? So I can go high drawings here and we can figure that out. So we can see, okay, on a higher time frame, let's say we came to the charts here, where are we on a higher time frame? Okay, so for this video, we're going to use a trade that I took this week. I'm going to replay this trade. This trade was taken on live stream and with the guys here. So this is what we do Monday to Friday, London session live stream. So if you're interested, leave a subscribe. You'll be notified when we go live Monday to Friday. So this is a trade I took on the live stream for people to see here. So this was my plan. Entry break of this high. You can see it says buy order there. And that is after a pullback. So price made a new high, entered there after a pullback. Okay. So this is my plan behind the trade, looking for price to do what? For price to continue bullish. Okay. So we were looking for buys here and eventually it did end up playing out here. So if I can skip a bit more into this trade here, we'll be able to see how price, literally was able to continue bullish here. So point is that this is a pullback trade, right? This is a pullback trade. You're looking for price to pull back and then trade towards the upside here. What's nice is you don't have to trade this continuation. If you look here, continuation fail, continuation fail, continuation fail. Price always pulled back. So trading on the pullback is going to be beneficial. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't trade on continuation, because continuation is also a model that you need to drastically understand here. So what I want to explain and what I want to show you is I want to show you how to use the different aspects of that. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, explain the trade that we did end up taking here, which is this one right here, which is a 15-minute support here, break of this high right there. So that is the trade that was ended up being taken there. You can see that. I'll have someone pop it on the screen, but I want to also compare to a trade that I took earlier on the week, which I'm also going to pop a screenshot on now of that trade, which you can see is a continuation trade and you had no chance. I'll also pop up another gold trade that was a continuation trade. Just pop that on the screen there as well. Those are the trades I've been taking this week. So we're going to also do this like a little trade recap here, which will be nice to go over it. So idea behind this is gold was obviously bullish here. We've had a very impulsive move. Typically, you don't want to be buying highs after we have an impulsive move. You need structure and pullbacks. So this exactly did that. It created structure. How do we know it's structure? We can see here that price has created a support and resistance, right? We can see that. We can see that even we draw a line here. Here's your support, right? And this is your structural point. Price pushed out of this zone here, not really giving a close above to get the initial entry. So what we've been noticing is price has been liking to do what? And this is where you have to, I always say, tell the story, right? So this is how you're going to trade pullbacks, is you're going to tell the story. You need to have all things in conjunction, right? You need to have pullback, you need to have bias, you need to have, on top of bias, you need to have your markup, your daily analysis. All of this stuff needs to be done. I have plenty of videos. I recommend you watch my 4-step trading method to understand the 4 steps of that. And now we can understand when to utilize a pullback entry. Generally, if you get a pullback entry, you want to be taking that because you're entering at a discount, right? It's the best. Like, look at this pullback entry. This was not in my session. This was in Asian session, but popped up to the highs, pulled back, created this change of structure here, your entry would be break of this high closing above this little structural point here, right? Because we want to break resistance. This is one of my entry confirmations. Now, for me, I love to take pullbacks on the 15-minute time frame, lowest time frame possible here. What we need for pullback is we need clean candles to happen. The pullback can't happen choppy. It can't be a pullback that looks like this. This is going to be no good. We need it to be clean. If you notice, every time a pullback is clean, clean move up, clean pullback, clean move up, clean pullback, clean move up. Now, this is very important to understand how price has been moving, because what I want you to notice is I want you to notice how price has been typically failing at highs. Look, pullback, continuation, fail, pullback, continuation, fail. Same story here. Every time we get above the highs, it fails. So you being a buyer above the highs today, even though it played out, will be a more of a riskier option because you don't know if price is going to continue or not, right? Because it's been a common trend, right? Now we do get some form of continuation. You'll actually see what happened later. It actually did end up failing. But so what do we wait for? We wait for pullbacks. In this scenario here, this is why I'm choosing this example on this. We had a little bit of a complex problem here because we had this resistance formed here. So buying into this resistance could be issues. We could see rejection. If you even check the higher time frame, there was a 1 hour resistance literally right there. But how can we take confidence that price is going to push through? Because you need to understand basic market structure. And basic market structure is this: higher highs and higher lows. What do we notice in this pattern? Price is able to break through highs and respect lows. If you look at what gold has been doing when it starts to move up, except for heavy pullbacks like this, which inevitably happen, we respect lows and we break through highs, creating that staircase method. So with that idea in mind, you can basically say, hey, look, I can expect price to push through that because higher time frame is bullish. This is why bias is very important. How do we find bias? We look at what previous daily candle did, right? Previous daily, how did previous daily close? How did previous 4 hour close? Now we start to put this together. So when we're looking for pullbacks, how do we know the pullback is finished? What is going to be our entry confirmation? And simply what we're looking for is we're looking for bearish candles to close, followed by a bullish candle closure, creating support, or resistance if you're looking for sells. There's no way you're going to take the trade unless we're tapping a zone without a support creation, because the support is going to tell you that, hey, the pullback is done. Now, if there's been a big push for the session and you're trying to trade the pullback because you missed the big push, don't try to do that. The push has happened. Look at the session. This happened over Asian. This is London. London hadn't pushed much. That's not much. I assume there's going to be more push for the session. So I'm going to take this trade towards the downside here. Okay. Now, when it comes to planning for a trade, you have to always look where can price pull back to. You always want to have zones for price to pull back to. Obviously here we had a nice little confirmation here. We had a rubber band setup. If you haven't watched already on my YouTube channel, you should check out the liquidity video here, which is my rubber band setup. You probably see me there dragging the rubber band. This is a popular analogy of mine where this is your rubber band setup, right? That's giving you the spring. Imagine this is rubber band grabbing liquidity to give the move up. This is another example of that. We grab liquidity, fail to close below. Remember, candle closures tell you everything. We failed to close below, we created support, and we continued upward bullish, right? And that support candle on a 15-minute time frame is going to be your entry confirmation. So now you have everything aligned. You have your liquidity grab, you have price respecting a zone, which is going to be the structural here. You have 15-minute candle closing bullish. Now you have a clean candle towards the left. Now you can enter breaking the high here and look for price to continue towards the upside, right? Stop loss should go below the candle low. That's where your stop loss should go, previous candle low. I ended up using tighter stops because of me understanding a little bit more how I can maximize this move and get tighter stop. I ended up closing at the top of the range here. If you go ahead a little bit under the top of the range, if you see that screenshot that I showed you in the beginning, and that is exactly how the trade played out. Now, if you look at the trade, it did continue. If I'm looking to improve this trade, I don't see why not. I could have probably left a little runner here just because we're at all-time high to see if price could do some business here. I think this would be a valuable thing, but I closed full because I wanted to secure my profit. And on top of securing my profit, it's not something we've been seeing continuation, right? Every time it got up to the highs, it failed. So I was not convinced that this would be a breakout move. So how do we know if price, the second thing is, how you're going to plan for pullbacks, because sometimes you have to trade the continuation only. You need to have all of your analysis down. So if we have a look here, this is my exclusive group here. I want to show you this example here from yesterday. So look at this scenario here. Yesterday we had an option where we could also look for sells and look for buys in the same session here. But today I'm not looking for pullbacks for buys because there's a selling option as well. So if price today is going to make sense to sells, now I sent this in my exclusive group every day. I send in my New York analysis and we discuss it in there if you're wondering where this is. If you look at this here, this is a day where we cannot look for pullback for buys because when it's pulling back, that's where I expect it to sell. So it would be invalid to look for this. Now we did get that close above actually. If I remove this one and we go back and see, I did actually take that trade. I'll pop a screenshot up. Same thing, rubber band setup. We got a liquidity grab towards the downside, rubber band giving us the push here, and then got a nice little scalp. Not the biggest move, ended up tapping a 15-minute resistance, which is very, very important. When you're trading pullbacks, where are you going to target, guys? You're going to target where the resistance was made. So if I'm looking to trade a pullback from down here, I'm going to target the resistance. When you're trading continuation, you're targeting the resistance towards the left. So on a day like today, you can't trade continuation. So this is something that's going to be very important, as well as market positioning. If you're at the top of a range, right? So if you think about market in a range, now I probably need to make a part 2. So let me know in the comments if you want a video about market positioning. We can talk about that and how this can help. You need to have market positioning here. I want to keep this video nice and short, but if you're at the top of a range, you can't be taking pullback trades because that might be a rejection from a higher time frame zone here. So this is very, very, very important here, right? So we can see, let's go through some of my plans that I share with the guys here that they speak, and you can see how I develop. Look at this. This is a nice scenario. Today I'm looking for pullbacks. Why? I don't want to sell the lows. Price has broken out. I'm bearish today. I'll look for pullbacks to continue down. So this is where that pullback will create clean candles, and that would be my trade for the day. Whereas a day like this here, where are we going to pull back to, right? Let's see how price forms in here. That's going to be the plan. But today, hard to look for potential pullbacks when we're getting into a choppy range, right? Now, this eventually did create support from the bottom of the range and continued up, but we need to see how price forms in here, and we can discuss about this, right? So make a plan every single day. You can also get access to my plans, and if you want to trade live with me, you can join the exclusive group as well. You know, this is very, very important, but I'm using these examples. We can go back, see, look at this, another example here, looking for sells as well on pullbacks. Why pullbacks? Because we've already had a push down. I do not want to sell lows after a rejection. Later, we could look for potentially continuing down, but ideally the pullbacks. Where am I looking for pullbacks? I'm looking for pullbacks back towards the resistance here. I could show you countless examples of this, but I'm going to show you something even better. If you go in my free Discord group or in the link of my live stream descriptions, there's my public journal where I show my trades of my entry, exit, and TP. Go and check setup number 2 here. Go check setup number 2. That is the setup here. So before we end this video, I'm going to leave you with, so you can watch how the trade plays out. But before we end this video, I'm going to leave you with how the setup actually looks like here. So I'm going to go get this for you guys here. So here's a screenshot of the setup number 2 here. So you guys can screenshot that, keep it for yourself. It's also available in the free Discord, so I wouldn't worry about that. You can have this for yourself. So that's setup 2. It will tell you a little bit of information there. That again, that's available in the free. So that's setup number 2. But I hope this video tells you a little bit about, you know, looking on how to trade pullback trades and how I trade pullback trades, and also a little trade recap of what I took this week and why I took it and how I felt about the trade. As I said, I was confident with the liquidity grab. We should see the continuation. For me, this was a little bit iffy here, these resistances leading me to close early, but from the reasons I mentioned before about how price has not been continuing, I decided not to leave a runner or try hold the trade longer. Even though it did push up, that's a variant I don't know, because as a price action trader, we trade based off what we see, not what we think. And it's very important to approach the market like that, because this could have been a trade that you earn nothing, trying to be greedy, holding the trade more. So I hope that this has helped. Let me know, leave a like if it has. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Leave a subscribe if you're new. Take care, trade sharp, and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon. Peace.